What's going on, everyone? Welcome back with another update. Breaking news just came in. ESPN has reportedly parted ways with longtime on-air analyst Ryan Clark, who is also the co-host of the Pivot podcast. Over the years, there have been several moments where fans openly called for Ryan Clark to lose his job, and today we're going to revisit everything that led up to this point. He had a very public feud with RG3 that sparked major backlash from viewers. He also spoke out about how Shedeur Sanders was being treated, arguing that he wasn't being given a fair opportunity with his team because of the color of his skin, while claiming that Dillon Gabriel was receiving those chances instead of Shedeur Sanders. Ryan Clark also weighed in on the Kairen Lacy situation, and Lacy is someone with whom he shared a personal connection through LSU, where they both attended. Ryan viewed Lacy almost like a younger brother. I also believe Lacy trained with Ryan Clark at his gym in the past, so the relationship between them went beyond football. But many people are saying the final straw was his on-air exchange with Peter Schrager when Ryan said, "That's the non-player in you," during a live discussion about the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys game. So let's go back through each of these moments and take a closer look at what happened.
Okay, you look at A.J. Brown, which is this number one wide receiver who got one target all night, and then you got CeeDee Lamb.
But that's the when was the one target?
That's the target.
But
though.
I'm saying,
when was the one target?
I'm saying you could have it both ways.
54 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this morning saying A.J. Brown had a better day than CeeDee Lamb.
But you know what you wake up saying though? A.J. Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course,
right? Like that's what
I get it.
But the thing is this though, and we shouldn't do this on TV, and so I apologize if people think this is rude. That's the non-player.
Oh, stop! CeeDee Lamb is.
Let me tell you why. I'm not looking at fantasy football,
Ryan. I'm not. Don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing, and give an alternative perspective that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player, I can't speak for CeeDee. Sad and tragic when I thought he died under the weight of handling the guilt that he unknowingly played a part in someone losing their lives. It's even more tragic that I know he died as an innocent man who knew he was innocent, but was dealing with the consequences of someone guilty of what he had been accused of. And let's be clear, Kairen Lacy is innocent, but on December 17th, 2 people lost their lives. Obviously, Herman Hall, and condolences and prayers to his family, because this man fought in 2 Vietnam wars, and the very thing he fought for, right, which was the rights and the privileges and the due diligence of the courts as it pertains to American citizens, didn't even happen in his death. They didn't even honor him that way. It was true lies. It was true railroading. It was true framing. It was Tyler Werner, the state police, who was coaching witnesses into telling them or into saying that it was Kairen's car involved in the crash. All he saw was a young black man, right? He didn't see Kenny, and he didn't see Candace's son. He didn't see a brother. He didn't see a teammate. He didn't see a boyfriend. He didn't see somebody who truly was a part of the community. So they stole his joy, they stole his career, and eventually they took his life.
When you look at a guy like Joe Burrow, right, and where he is ranked, they don't take into account how much he's been injured or how little he's played, how awful his team has been as a whole. They look at Joe Burrow when he is on the field, what he has accomplished, and they rank him by that. They rank him by the feeling they get when Joe Burrow is healthy, when Jamar Chase is there, when T. Higgins is there. The same exact thing should go for Lamar Jackson. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, there is no more accomplished quarterback in the entire NFL individually. There's no quarterback who carries more than Lamar Jackson. There's no quarterback who's asked to do more than Lamar Jackson. There's no quarterback who you have to have a game plan for in the run game. You have to have a game plan for in the pass game. And then you have to have a secondary game plan for when he does Lamar Jackson type stuff. And so when you take his career as a whole, if I'm a player, the way I'm voting is this. If this dude is healthy, how much do I fear him? If this dude is healthy, how difficult is it to game plan for him throughout the week? And we talked about some of the disrespect he has gotten. That's disrespect I expected. I expected executives to not know where to place him. I expected marketers and brands to not understand the power of his voice. What I didn't.
This started 3 years ago. I did my ESPN deal. It wasn't what I wanted. Like I realized I had to do more. And honestly, I felt played. And the worst thing for anybody that's from New Orleans is to feel played. But I felt like I deserved something that they didn't feel like I deserved. And so I set out that day and I said that day that in 3 years, I'll be the best in the world doing this. That there'll be no stone left unturned. I leave no doubt that there was nobody in the world that was like me. So I started my own stuff, bro. I started to pivot. I did the work. I got on the road. I went to every show they put me on and made sure I crushed it. And so now, here we are again. The season's over. Inside the NFL is finished. And somebody got to pay the piper.
Now, why am I showing you this clip? According to the report that's been circulating, Ryan Clark was allegedly informed of his dismissal while this show was still on the air. The claim is that the decision came during the broadcast and that he never got the chance to finish the rest of the episode. If that's accurate, it's an unbelievable way for something like this to unfold. The report says he was notified during NFL Live and did not return to complete the show. That's a shocking way for any employee to be let go, especially someone who had been with the network for so long. Over the years, plenty of critics have accused Ryan of race baiting or of using his platform to create division. At the same time, Ryan has always been someone who speaks his mind, and we even saw him publicly apologize to Peter Schrager after their on-air exchange. But sometimes an apology doesn't change the outcome. There are situations where a network has already made up its mind long before a public apology is ever made. That's one reason some people choose not to apologize publicly. It isn't always about pride. Sometimes they believe the apology won't save their job because the decision has already been made. They feel they're simply being asked to apologize before eventually being shown the door anyway. Whether that's fair or not, it's a perspective that comes up often in these situations. Looking back at the Peter Schrager exchange, which was the first clip I showed, that moment clearly generated a lot of discussion. I haven't even gotten into the back and forth with RG3 yet, and that also drew plenty of attention. In the Schrager debate, Ryan's comment about the non-player in you became the biggest talking point. We've seen former players and career journalists disagree on sports shows for years. Ryan's point appeared to be that someone who has never played professionally may not fully understand the dynamics inside an NFL locker room. That's a viewpoint many former athletes have expressed over the years, even if people disagree with the way it was delivered. As for apologizing, everyone has to make that decision for themselves. Some believe it's the right thing to do, while others feel it doesn't matter if the outcome has already been decided. I understand why someone would want to protect their career, so I'm not criticizing Ryan Clark for apologizing. I'm simply saying that in situations like this, some people believe the process is already set in motion long before the public ever finds out. If that's true, then the apology isn't changing the final result. Reports suggest the decision may have been made well before everything became public, even though Ryan still addressed the controversy afterward. If the reports are accurate, it's understandable why so many people question the timing. Personally, I don't understand the benefit of informing someone during a live broadcast instead of waiting until the show is over. Let the person finish their work, then have the conversation privately afterward. That approach seems far more respectful. Instead, if the reports are true, the moment immediately became a major story that everyone started talking about. No matter what happens next, Ryan Clark still has the pivot, and this could give him more time to focus on growing that platform. We've already seen other former athletes build successful independent media brands. Shannon Sharpe, despite his own very different and highly public situation, already had Nightcap, which became a massive success. Ryan Clark has the pivot, and now he has an opportunity to invest even more into expanding it. If he wants to remain in sports media, he doesn't necessarily need traditional television anymore. We've seen independent platforms become so successful that television networks eventually pay to license or distribute that content. So if that's the direction he wants to take, this could end up being a fresh start. The circumstances may be difficult, especially if everything happened the way it's being reported, but he still has the chance to build something even bigger on his own terms.